Back. My phone died while I was, in the middle of reading earlier. Um, yeah, I knew my phone was on like 20% when I came out, and I was gonna try to be mindful of it. I thought there would be like a 5% warning after the 10, but there wasn't. Uh, yeah, so at first I was kind of, annoyed and bothered, and I was like, damn, like, come on, like, we were really rolling. But then I was like, you know what, it's okay. Like, I'm here to do divine work, so that's, at the mercy of divine timing. So who knows why, that wasn't the time to do it or why. Maybe I had to get back, come back here, get back on, and somebody who really needed to be reached would be able to be reached based on me starting a new one or whatever. There's a million things, and it's not my burden to know why, It's just my burden to show up. Not burden, it's my responsibility to show up and to, do my thing. So it's like, so I came back and I was just gonna leave it, but then the next card out was the Fool. So it felt like, okay, like this is the beginning of a journey. Um, still working out the kinks. There's still things to learn. Um, and yeah, so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go back, and when I get back, I'm gonna charge it and get back on. But then the charge I had wasn't even working, and it was like, what the hell? So I was trying to plug it up a bunch of times, it just wasn't charging. So I tried to find another charger, couldn't find another charger. And then, I was getting annoyed again, and then I was like, relax. It's just a little resistance. Um, keep going, keep trying. So, then I was like, all right. So I tried the first chord again, and it worked. So here we are. So that just makes, it's confirmation. It's like, it just wasn't time, and now it is, and now I'm back here. So, yeah, the Fool. It's the beginning of a journey, man, for all of us, especially for you, especially for me. And yeah, just do what you feel called to do. I feel like you already know what this is. You've already gotten the call. Maybe you weren't sure if you were going to accept it or not. Maybe you weren't sure how it was going to look or when the time is, but it's now. And that doesn't mean you jump full in, or you have to, go full steam ahead. Take the first steps. What's the first thing? And do that. And don't feel like it has to be super perfectly planned out, because what you need and what you need to know is going to become apparent after you start. Once you get going, once you kind of, once you get your feet, like even this streaming thing, for example, just an example from my own experience on how these things go. I feel like streaming is something I've wanted to do for years. Like, I'm gonna do it. But for me, I do a lot of things. I'm a music engineer. I'm also an artist myself. I run an independent label, amongst other things. So it's just like, and I wear a lot of hats, and just those three things I named, I wear a lot of hats within them. So it's like, for me, it was like, yeah, I really want to do that at a high level. That's my priority. So I don't want streaming to kind of become something else on my plate to where that stuff suffers, or streaming and Twitch, something that I can't put full energy in like I'm used to, or like how I would want to, for that to be successful and fruitful. So just wanting to feel like I got to be able to have the right time and energy to do it all. It stopped me from getting on here for years. Just for me to eventually just, I don't have to plan it. Doesn't have to be, timing doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be anything. Like, it's something I want to do, so just do it. So one day I just literally just did it, and then from there, that's when I was like, damn, I like this a lot. And that's where it became what I needed, and like the form that the stream and the channel would take became apparent to me. Then it became, okay, I'll play video games, I'll do my readings on Mondays, I'll do, I'll mix music on here. And then I realized, like, yo, it doesn't have to be something separate from everything I do. It's just an opportunity, a platform to highlight everything I do, because I can do everything I do on stream. I can mix on stream, I can make music on stream, I can create a beat or record a song on stream, I can do my readings, I can play video games, and I can do all of that here. And it's like, that's something I wouldn't have known until I just jumped in, and then that's where, the rest of it found me. But while it was all just in here, and I felt like I had to plan and do everything before I could, and make the right time before I could get on here, none of that was apparent. It was always something that was, separate, another thing on my plate. But once I just kind of jumped in, literally the first time, after that, it was just apparent, like, wow, like, no, I can do everything here. This is actually the perfect place. It enhances everything I do already without taking away. It allows me to share with the world and bring other people in. So don't feel like you can't just start on that thing you're called to do, because just starting might be that exact thing that gives you everything else you need to continue to do it. But you have to start. You have to get in there. Oh, my knees all in the camera. But yeah, you have to start. You have to get in there, and that's more important than anything. Like, yes, you can plan, yes, you can do all that all day, but once you get to it, you'll realize it's different. Even if it's not bad different or a lot different, it's different. So you don't know what you need to know until you get in. So that thing you're called to do, this is time. Go do it. Just start. Just start. I know you want to plan everything. Plan after. If you still feel need to plan after you get in there that first time, second time, do that, because that's what you need to do. But most important thing to do is just get in there. Just start. You are the fool. There's nothing wrong with that. 0 before 1. It's time to take that first step. You're not alone. You have divine protection as well, watching your back. Look, the sun's on you. You got the trusty sidekick. Yeah, you're supported every step of the way. Don't be afraid to take that leap of faith. Understand that you will be caught every single time. You will be caught. The hardest thing to do is show up. The hardest thing to do is make that jump. But once you do, everything else will find you. I promise. And you don't even have to take my word for it. You know it. There's a part of you that knows it. For sure. Tap in with yourself. Ask yourself these questions. Zoom out. Ask yourself questions. Don't be afraid to ask yourself questions about what you believe. Question your thoughts, too. Like, something comes up and it's like, dang, I can't do that. Be like, why do I believe that? Where does that come from? Is that true? Do I really believe I can't do that? See, and investigate. I feel like a lot of times we take our thoughts and things at face value, but a lot of it sometimes just noise, especially in the way we've been conditioned, especially in society today. Like, a lot of the programs running in our mind are noise. So question them. Don't accept everything as your own voice, especially not your higher self. Like, definitely be like, what is that? Where does that come from? Do I really believe that? And if you don't, reframe it. Tell it thank you. Thank you for, trying to keep you safe, trying to put you in the right direction. But understand that, no, that's not in alignment to where I'm going. But thank you. But no thank you. Let it know that. Correct yourself. Catch those thoughts. I'm going to just pull a couple more and then get out of here. Let's see. What do we need to know for this week? What do we need to know for this week? Cards have been a little shy today. Or maybe it's just been, for me, because usually I let them pop out or whatever, but sometimes they're not as cooperative. And for me, that makes me feel like, okay, it's time for me to, be more hands-on with it, to interject myself a little bit, and decide, okay, let me pull another card now and not wait for it to pop out and see what happens. Because sometimes, sometimes you're called to just be receptive and be in that feminine energy and to just take it in and just channel. And sometimes you're called to be more masculine energy and to, to put out more and to affect things and to change things and to control a little bit. So I try to honor those calls, and right now it seems like it's one of those things like, oh, see, I guess I just had to say that. Somebody needed to hear that, because as soon as I did, next card popped out. 5 of Pentacles. It's been a long journey. It's been a hard journey, but understand you're not alone. See, the Pentacles in the window, the church in there, the lights are on. It seems like they don't even really notice like that. They're trying to get where they're going, but the divine is always around, even in the hardest days, especially in the hardest times, because the universe loves you, God loves you, and the hard times are only to make you stronger, only to get you, to mold you into the person you want to be, mold you into the person that gets everything you're asking for, If you're asking for strength, if you're asking for faith and to, you're gonna receive opportunities to refine those things. If you're asking for strength, you're gonna get opportunities to be strong. So understand that if you're in something that's calling for a lot of strength, understand that you're getting stronger. Understand that once you make it through on the other side, you'll realize, like, wow, like, I'm capable of more than I thought. I'm strong. Like, I am everything. So understand that you may not get it now, but have that hindsight now. Understand that at some point you will get it, and that this is all leading you to more of yourself and more of what you want. So yeah, don't get fooled in the illusions of your experience, because it's all you. It's all being projected out from within you. The things you notice, the things you see, the things you experience, they're all you. So if things are hard, understand you needed strength or you wanted strength, and you're gonna be stronger. Show up. How can I be my best self in this moment? Zoom out. How can I take best advantage of this hardship right now? What is there that I can learn through this? Sometimes it's just to slow down. Sometimes just to rest. Sometimes to understand that, damn, like, I'm not in control of everything, and that's okay. Sometimes you have to get beat up to know that, so you can let go. Because when you're sitting there trying to control everything, miracles can't be controlled. God can't be controlled. The universe can't be controlled. If you're sitting there and you're too hands on, too trying to control everything, make sure everything is so perfect, and you're like, yo, you're gonna get shook up. Get your hands off so I can do what I need to do. God needs to be able to do what they need to do. The universe needs to be able to do what they need to do to get you what you want. It's in your best interest. So let go. What are things that you can't control that you've been trying to? Let go. God is here. You're being protected. You're not walking alone. Blindfolded and all. Even when you know you're being supported, understand it's way more than that. Like, you see, there's somebody holding them, and they're like, wow, like, I have so much support, and they're probably just talking about this one person. Meanwhile, everything is supporting them. The snow under their feet is supporting them. The ground under their feet is supporting them. The air in their lungs is supporting them. You're supported all the way around. I promise you. I promise you. Understand that you're always loved. Even if you're in a room by yourself, you're never alone. The divine and everything, the universe is always there. You just have to allow it. You just have to slow down enough, zoom out enough, and allow the love, the miracles, the blessings, everything to find you, because it wants to find you. You're perfect just the way you are. You're very loved just the way you are. So understand that anything that you're feeling or anything that's telling you against that is wrong. Plain and simple. It's not correct. So don't accept that as your truth, because it will be your truth, and you'll get a lot of proof of the things you believe, and you'll feel like, see, look, I was right. But it's like, no. Your awareness, change your awareness. All that is reflecting how you feel on the inside. You'll notice different things when you change the inside, you'll notice different things for sure. So understand you are protected, and operate with that knowing, and see how your experience changes. 2 cups at the bottom. Hell yeah. 2 cups at the bottom. It's crazy that your comment came in right when I said that. I love you, Mom. 2 cups at the bottom. Yeah, my girlfriend just popped in here and is dropping the clapping emojis. And our card came out at the bottom, which is crazy, at the exact same time. So, it was dope. I asked her to be my girlfriend using this card. I wrote a note on it. She had her picking cards and stuff. And I was like, what does this one mean? And then she looked at it. And yeah, said, will you be my girlfriend? So it's dope that she popped up right before that. Hey, Mordecai. Appreciate you jumping back in here. But yeah, 2 of Cups. Follow love. Follow your heart. It's only going to lead you to more of yourself every single time. Every single time. And that doesn't mean everything in love is going to be perfect. That doesn't mean everything's going to be perfect. Oh, I denied your message by mistake, bro. I definitely swiped it the wrong way. But yeah, everything's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be worth it every single time. Love will only lead you to more of yourself, even if it goes to heartbreak. Because through heartbreak, like I was saying earlier, you realize what you want to accept, what you don't want to accept, what you need more of, what you need less of, who you are. And you're like, I thought I could deal with that, but I can't. Or I thought I liked that, but I don't. Like, whoa, like I didn't even know that this was something to be concerned about. But, and through that, you refine your choices, you refine who you are, you refine what you need, and then you can ask for that, and you can demand that, and you cannot settle for less than that. But with that, it also knows when something has run its course, because it might have just been for a season so you can learn those things. And now you learn them, but you're still trying to force it to work, and it may not work. Maybe your time's over. You just need to learn that lesson. So discernment and everything is important too, to know, to understand when it's time to remove yourself from a situation. And all that is also knowing when to follow your heart, because your heart will tell you like, yo, this is done, it's time. But we may not know what's next. We may be afraid of like, damn, I don't know. Damn, I don't want to be alone. This is better than be alone at least, And it's like, no, but what if you knew that you won't be alone. Maybe you're just alone for a week, and then your soulmate, the person you're meant to be with, is ready to meet you, but now you're scared of the unknown, so you're sitting there wasting your time, entertaining things that are, things that have run its course. So trust your heart, the good and the bad. Trust your heart enough to follow it, and trust your heart enough to listen to it when it tells you things are up, or also when it's like, go for it. Like, love, it's okay. Fall in love as hard as you can, because it's only gonna lead to more of yourself. So, yeah, one more card, and then I'm gonna get out of here and let you guys get out of here. Appreciate y'all kicking it with me, and I appreciate y'all for coming back after we got disconnected. Hell yeah, fall and get lost, find yourself again. Yourself has always been right there. Tune in with yourself and realize, like, damn, like, I never needed to be found, I never needed to be saved, none of that. I just had to come home to myself and allow myself to be myself and trust my urges, trust what I feel called to do, and trust that is me, And that will lead to more of me and the people who are aligned with me, and then I'll look around and my whole existence, my whole experience will just be me as fuck, because I always followed me in my heart. So that can only lead you to more of your heart, It won't lead you astray. Yeah, just trust and stop living in fear. Because fear is just information, It's not supposed to rule your life. It just lets you know how you feel about somebody. If something makes you feel, scared or afraid, that just lets you know. So you can look at it like, damn, why am I afraid of that? Why am I afraid of being a failure when I've never failed in my life? Like, I've even succeeded at believing that I'm a failure. Like, so question everything. Question your fears. They're just updates on how you feel on the inside, So you can address them and change what needs to be changed. You got a way with words, Mordecai. Grow and breathe. Give life to something beautiful. Hell yeah. Oh, back where we started. That's how I know that this is it. It's time to wrap it up. Oh, a couple cards. Okay. So the High Priestess. This was the first card we got. Restore that balance. Reflect on everything you heard here today. I feel like there was a lot of things that was said between this one and the first video before you got cut off. I'll make sure they're both on my channel, by the way. Once I get off of here, I'm gonna go make sure they're posted. So definitely don't hesitate to go back and recap, and now that you got the whole message, to go back and see where we started and experience the journey again. Because balance. Restore the balance. Beginning to end, in the middle, there's something there for you. Whether it's the whole thing, just one thing, a couple of things, think about what you want to take away. Think about what you want to leave with and where you want to go from here. Let this be, the beginning of that fool's journey. Let this be point zero before everything changes for you. Like, if you've been wanting change, if you've been wanting your life to look different, if you've been wanting to bring things in, let this be that point, that tipping point before it all comes in. Let this be the moment, like, you know what? Damn, I saw that video and then everything changed. Allow it to be that. It can be that if you want it to be. Go within. Be intentional. Understand that this is your world. And that doesn't mean it's not somebody else's world. It's all of our worlds. But you wake up every day with yourself. You go to sleep every day with yourself. You experience your thoughts. You're the only person who experiences your reality 100%. I don't care if you're married and you've been with this person for 80 years. You're the only person who's been with yourself from the beginning to the middle to the end. You're the only person who will be with yourself from the beginning to the middle to the end. So understand that this is your world. And you owe it to yourself to be the main character. You owe it to yourself to actualize everything that's inside of you, because no one else knew. And if they really knew and felt what you felt, they would be telling you to do that too. They would be telling you to, yeah, hell yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Please understand that. If they knew and felt everything that you felt about everything you feel called to do, they would be telling you to do it too, but they can't. And then, everybody has their conditioning, everybody is in their mind, everybody has all that stuff. So understand that they're not able to do that, but you don't need them to do that. Understand that time will tell all, and there won't be anything to second guess. There won't be anything to prove. The proof will be in your existence. The proof will be in the things that you enjoy, the things that you share with the world. So understand that even if you're the only person who can see it, understand that that's enough. You only need yourself, and then everything else, pieces and players will come into place to help you actualize it. But you have to accept that, okay, I'm going to do this no matter what. Even if it is just me, I'll figure it out. and not even that you have to figure out. Understand that you will be provided for. That the rest will, everything you don't have or everything you feel like you need, it will be there. You just have to do it. So, hell yeah. Share, Mordecai. And yeah, that being said, Ace of Wands also came up earlier. And now it's at the bottom. So you are being called. This is it. Take the wand. I'm presenting you with the opportunity to go take action. Everything you heard here today is the opportunity to go take action. That thing you feel called to do, the thing you've been dragging your feet on, go do it. Let this be the moment that you're like, you know what? That video, I don't know how the fuck I ended up with that dude. I don't even know who that dude is. But I don't know. He was saying some things and it's time. So, hell yeah. Let's see. Mordecai says, I hope everybody have a good day. I hope everybody accomplish something significant. Even if you don't accomplish something significant, don't be discouraged. Just aim to accomplish something significant tomorrow or the next day and so on. Hell yeah, that's Juice WRLD. R.I.P. Juice. And yeah, I wish I was, more present with his music and his art when he was here. But I feel like, in the time that he's been transitioned and he's been gone, I feel like, I don't know, I fall in love with him, his music, his art, and the way he's made people feel. I understand it now. I understand why his following was so strong. I feel like he kind of came and went. I feel like he wasn't around for hella long, but in the time that he was here, it felt very powerful. And the people who loved him a lot. Like, if you love Juice WRLD, like, they were never shy about that. And that's something I always noticed even before I understood it. But now I get it, and I feel like that's what it was for. I feel like he brought up a lot of people to love. And him leaving affected a lot of people and their hearts. And yeah, he's not done. His impact is still being felt today. And the next artists and the regular people, or we're all regular, but and everyday people and everybody who was able to be touched by him, he lives on. So hell yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Take that action, y'all. Don't leave here and be the same. You can't. I don't think you even could if you wanted to. There's been too much. But yeah, go get it. And then come back and tell me about how you went and got it. Because I'm rooting for you guys, each and every one of you guys. I'm invested in you all, just like you're invested in me. And if you're not invested in me, I'm still invested in you all. Because you guys sat here and exchanged energy with me. And I know there are no coincidences. I know that we crossed paths at this moment because we were supposed to. And yeah, so I'm excited to see where you guys go from here. And yeah, I love you guys. And thank you for tuning in to the Monday Magic. This has been really dope. Even better than last week, so I know that we're gonna just keep going up and up and up and up. So definitely follow the channel. Definitely stay tuned. Yeah, I know right now the schedule is every Monday at 1, but I don't know, this energy can't be contained, so I feel like when I feel called to, I'm just gonna throw the camera up and sit down and pull some cards for us and, just sit in the energy with you guys. And even if that's all it's for, just for us to sit in the energy and to, be our higher selves, be with our guides, be with spirit, be with God for a little bit. That's enough for me. So yeah, I love you guys and thank you guys for being here. And you're welcome. Thank you for thanking me and thank you for being here. Because if you guys weren't here, it takes both of us. So yeah, I love you guys and be safe. Have a good week.